The day I found out that another woman had taken my husband, my heart did not break at once. It cracked slowly, like a clay pot left too long in the sun. My name is Zainab, and my husband's name is Abbas Mohammed. For 12 years, I called him my peace, my covering, my answered prayer. We built our home from nothing. We prayed together. We struggled together. We celebrated every little victory as one. I never imagined that the same man who once held my hands in the mosque courtyard would one day become a stranger in my own living room. It started with small changes, late nights, locked phones, soft smiles at messages he would not explain. When I asked questions, he said I was overthinking. When I cried, he said I was too emotional. But a woman knows when her spirit is unsettled. One evening, while serving his favorite jollof rice, I noticed perfume on his shirt, not mine. My heart whispered the truth before my mouth could speak it. Before I continue, tell me, where are you watching from? Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, California, Jamaica, Trinidad, New York, Florida, Kenya, or London? We would love to know. And a big shout out to everyone who likes, follows, and shares this story with your 3 best friends or relatives on WhatsApp. Your support keeps these stories alive. 3 days later, I saw her, standing beside my husband outside a shopping mall, young, confident, laughing like she had won a prize. And the worst part, Abbas did not look guilty. He looked comfortable. That was the day I realized something painful. She did not just snatch my husband. She thought she had won a trophy. But she didn't know the real issue was just beginning.
When I confronted Abbas Mohammed that night, he did not shout. He did not deny it. He simply sat down, removed his cap slowly, and said, "Zainab, it is not what you think." Those words are the most dangerous words a woman can hear, because when a man says that, it usually means it is exactly what she thinks, and sometimes worse. He admitted that the woman's name was Samira. He said she understood him. He said she listened, as if I had been deaf for 12 years, as if I had not prayed for him when his business almost collapsed, as if I had not sold my gold bangles to support his investments. He spoke as though I had become invisible in my own marriage. But here is what Samira did not know. She met Abbas when he was already built. She met him when he was driving comfortably, dressing well, and respected in the community. She did not know the Abbas who borrowed money for rent. She did not know the Abbas who cried quietly when his first contract failed. She did not know the nights we fasted and prayed for breakthrough. She was enjoying the harvest of seeds she did not plant. The more I observed, the more I noticed something else. Abbas had started spending recklessly. Expensive dinners, hotel bookings, new gifts. His business account began to shrink. The same man who once calculated every naira was now spending to impress someone who only admired his shine. One afternoon, I saw Samira again. She looked at me boldly, almost proudly, but behind that confidence, I saw impatience. She was not in love with my husband. She was in love with what she thought he could provide. And men who are blinded by ego rarely see the trap ahead. Abbas believed he had found excitement, but he was slowly walking into a storm he did not recognize.
It did not take long before the sweetness between Abbas Mohammed and Samira began to fade. What starts in secrecy often struggles to survive in reality. At first, Abbas came home late with confidence, but soon he started coming home silent. His shoulders were heavier. His phone calls were no longer filled with laughter. I did not need anyone to tell me. The cracks had begun. One evening, I overheard him arguing on the phone. His voice was tense. "I told you I'm sorting it out," he said. "Stop pressuring me." That was when I understood the truth. Samira was no longer satisfied with dinners and gifts. She wanted more. A better apartment, bigger money transfers, public recognition. She wanted to be chosen officially. But Abbas was not ready to leave his home completely. He wanted 2 worlds, stability with me and excitement with her. What he failed to understand is that greed always collapses under its own weight. Samira began to demand things that made him uncomfortable. She wanted him to post her online. She wanted promises in writing. She wanted proof that she was not just a hidden chapter. At home, I remained calm, not because I was weak, but because I was watching. Sometimes silence is more powerful than shouting. I focused on my children. I focused on my peace. I refused to fight for a man who was busy proving himself to someone else. Then, the unexpected happened. Abbas's business partner called me privately. Payments were delayed. Investors were complaining. Projects were incomplete. The money he was using to impress Samira was affecting his company. The shine was fading, and Samira was not the type of woman who stays when the shine disappears.
The downfall did not happen in one loud explosion. It came quietly, like rain seeping through a weak roof. Abbas Mohammed's business began to collapse piece by piece. Contracts were withdrawn, calls were no longer returned. The same friends who once praised him suddenly became unavailable. Pressure changed his face. Sleep left his eyes. And then Samira changed. The woman who once called him my king started calling less. The woman who demanded public love suddenly wanted distance. When Abbas could no longer fund the lifestyle she expected, her tone became sharp. Respect turned into irritation. Admiration turned into complaint. The excitement he chased began to feel like a burden. One afternoon, he came home earlier than usual. He sat on the edge of the bed and stared at the floor for a long time. She left, he finally said. Just 2 words, no drama, no pride. Samira had found someone else, someone whose shine was brighter, whose pockets were fuller. The same way she came, she disappeared. That was when Abbas realized the painful truth. The woman he risked his home for was never in love with him. She was in love with comfort, and comfort changes direction when the wind shifts. He looked at me with regret heavy in his eyes. But betrayal does not disappear because someone says sorry. Trust, once cracked, does not return easily. Before we end, tell us again, where are you watching from? Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, California, Jamaica, Trinidad, New York, Florida, Kenya, or London? We truly want to know. To everyone who likes, follows, and shares this story with 3 friends or relatives on WhatsApp, we see you and we appreciate you deeply. And even if you choose not to like or follow, please consider sharing this story with someone who might need this lesson today. Moral lesson: never destroy a peaceful home for temporary excitement, and never envy what you did not build. What is taken through selfishness rarely lasts. Loyalty, patience, and integrity will always outlive